We have a standard back four with the striker and winger pinning the back line. The three midfielders on the ball side are marked, and there is a positional interchange between the right back and the right winger. It's a good idea, but still opposition is closing them down. This will automatically vacate the far side and create a 2 vs 1. So they switch the play, and now they release their dribble winger for a 1 vs 1 duel with the left back. This is an ideal environment for the winger to perform his dribbling skills. He also has a striker available with a lot of space. Now the question is, can he dribble past the fullback? He has two alternative options too. But by having a striker deep, Madrid has lost a target man. And is this a problem? So let's just imagine these are their intentions. It's actually not optimal to play inside now. In an ideal case, they should try to gain territory from the situation. But here the pass was played, and now Mbappe used his individual skills to gain territory. So they achieved the ideal objective using an alternative method. Now the winger and striker is exploring a possibility of a local combination. Here they have the same issue of not having a target man. Winger's instinct will be to dribble, but considering the situation, it's non-optimal to attempt a dribble. But here he can't use the alternative option of crossing into the box. It's a problem from one perspective, but Madrid's priority is to maximize individual strength. From a different perspective, he can play to Mbappe, who can attract defenders using his dribbling skill and then play a creative pass to find Vinicius. This is a benefit of not keeping Mbappe central. It's not possible to attract players and create space if it's a striker who can't dribble. So it's a trade-off Alonso wants to take. It depletes them of a central presence, but will give other attacking possibilities. Here they actually created a central presence by pushing the right winger or the right midfielder, and it's again a good idea. So we can't completely disregard the system. But now comes the another question. Is that player a good header of the ball? Heading is not a strength of Camavinga, but still it's good to have someone to threaten the centre back. So the ball is played back as opposition has regained their defensive structure. It's an evenly distributed shape from opposition and Madrid has to destabilize them. If you look at the possible options, they have three players on the right side. Since it is Valverde on the right wing, they don't have a typical dribbler who can take on players. Also, the opposition is in a neutral shape, and this means they can close down any area. The intention here will be to break this structure. Now, the thought process will be to keep the ball on the left, where you have more attackers, including Vinicius. So, they are forced to give it to the dribbler to create something. But the question is the conditions suitable for the dribbling? In this case, the right back got the support of the right winger. So, it's a 2 vs 1 against Vinicius and it's not easy to beat his man there. He actually attempted a dribble but couldn't beat Bradley, and now the obvious decision is to play it back. A potential possibility is to attack the half space using your striker. This will give Güler a chance to use his creativity and play a disguise pass to Mbappe. But ball is played back to Chomeni and he is using Bellingham to keep the ball moving. A potential possibility is to attack the space on the right using the centre back. If Militao can use Camavinga and Valverde to create something before opposition defense reorganize, it can be a good attack. It's creating that standard double striker format. Still they are unable to create something as opposition block is solid. A potential vulnerability is on the right side as there is no midfielder to protect that area. Real Madrid's three-man midfield is concentrated around the ball and it has dragged the opposition midfield to one side. So again there is a possibility of quickly playing Militao to attack that area. Here their intention is to give a third dribbling opportunity for Vinicius. This time left back made an underlap and opposition is forced to mark him using the defensive midfielder. The winger is again overloaded here by winger and the fullback. But the defensive midfielder's deep positioning has created some space in front of the midfield which can be exploited. There are three midfielders in that zone, including Chouameni, who is out of the frame. So there is definitely an opportunity to create something before opposition reorganize. Another interesting thing is the run of Camavinga. Alonso is trying to use sudden box crashing runs from the right midfielder to surprise defenders. Vinicius' decision to make a outside foot pass is also justified here, but he got the technique wrong and ultimately he was forced back. Now they can use the space we saw earlier, as all three midfielders are deep and Madrid has a spatial advantage here. So now opposition has destabilized their structure and they are in their worst shape. Now Militao has a larger space available compared to the previous occasion. All this can be considered as standard attacking ideas, but I think we should enjoy these subtle nuances of our game to understand how a particular thing happened at a point of time. We are seeing multiple minute actions accumulating to create one bigger noticeable result. Militao did an excellent job in utilizing the space available for him, and now he can play a killer ball to Bellingham. So why is Bellingham free in the heart of the defense? As we saw earlier, Camavinga is acting like a temporary striker, and this dragged one centre back out of position. The other one was already pinned by the original striker. So here we are seeing Madrid playing with two central threats, and it's contrary to the popular take where Alonso is criticized for not having enough central threats. We already saw three instances where Madrid didn't have a typical striker, but here when it mattered the most, they have two targets and it dragged two centre backs out of position. Now Bellingham just attacked the free space, so we can actually consider him as the third central threat. Here Militao messed up the whole sequence with a shot out of his instinct. But I think the point is clear. We can't simply criticize the manager saying he isn't playing a proper striker. It's true that it affects their game at times, but we saw the benefits of playing a roaming striker. And we all know it's just one sequence, and actually there are multiple benefits other than this by playing Mbappe as a roaming striker. And when it mattered the most, Mbappe was there acting like a striker. But in this one, he wasn't there, and then the whole narrative shift to blame the manager for his poor system. So, as a fan of the game, let's be honest and not fall into these narratives. Rather, try to understand and appreciate the subtle nuances of our beautiful game.